Hello friends. So many of the students have asked me this doubt of how to read a book or what to read in a book. So this is a standard question that it comes in the mind of every student. So we will first see how to read a book. In basic, so first I will talk about in general, how do you refer to a book? Then I will go into the specifics of what to read and how to read a civil services book. So that is what we will see in this video. So the first thing, see, I will talk about some neurological understanding of the brain in order for you to understand how to read a book. So you should know that the first time, see, the brain, if you see, the brain has two parts. So this is the point, the right and the left hemisphere. The first time, so when you read for the first time a new concept, okay, a new concept, when it comes, it is actually given to this right side of the brain. And when you see, when it comes to the right side of the brain, you will not be able to make sense of many of the things. First thing, you have to make peace with the fact that when you are going to read Lakshmikant for the first time, okay, Lakshmikant for the first time, you will not understand many of the things. You may not understand many of the terms, many of the issues, many of the topics, many of the chapters. You will not understand what is what chapter, how is it related, and things like that. You have to first accept problem, what is the, and I'll also in the process explain what students are making as a mistake also. See, I have to complete this first. Okay, what students are doing is that without completing this, okay, without completing this, they are actually enrolling for test batches. Okay, they are enrolling for test batches. They are looking at previous year question paper. They are actually looking at, many of the materials. See, when you are doing this the first time, see, when you are reading for the first time, do not think about all the above things. For the first time, first reading, okay, first reading, this is called as first reading. You should just read the entire book. Okay, entire book. It's a very, very difficult and boring job that you can do ever. And this is also how you read a book also. So as I told you, I'm going to talk about how to read a book. Along with that, I'm going to talk about how to read a civil services book. So this is an example which I took. But if you see, many are not able to read general books also. That is because, see, when, as I told you, you have been introduced to this right side of the brain, which is a new concept, and your new concept the brain will not accept because it is not sure of many of the terms and things. So when you are not sure of many of the terms and things, how is your brain going to accept it? And that is why, see, in this first reading, you have to push. Okay, this is where, like students give up. Okay, this is where people give up read. They don't push through themselves. See, like, once you push through this, okay, if you see engineering, okay, engineering la, there is a concept called as, threshold. In engineering, there is, anyone who has studied engineering, they will know that threshold current, okay, once on the die or or transistor la, there is a threshold current, or the current will be like this for a very long time. Okay, the current will be like this for a very long time. But once this threshold is reached, the current grows exponentially. They grow, see, they don't grow linearly. They grow exponentially. This is how it grows. So when you're reading for the first time, see, look at it. You're reading for the first time, This is your reading 1. Okay, you will face a lot of panic here only. Not only Lakshmikant, your optional subject, your optional theories, your optional whatever subject that you're, say optional, in optional, whatever you're reading, you'll face a lot of things. And this is where you have to be patient. This is where you have to be patient. This you have to complete. Okay, this you have to complete. If you are able to complete this, be patient, go through all these things, all the things once. Okay, all the things once, you will have a better understanding. Okay, once you finish it, this is the point. Now come to the point. So as I told you, in this first reading, don't worry about previous year question materials and things like that. No, this reading is a common reading, and along with this reading, see, this is where the problem for when I talk to students, this is where I understand the problem is. During this preparation, during the preparation of the first time, what they are doing, they are actually going here. They are actually going here and, looking at the many materials and current affairs and stuff like that. No. See, why they are going, if you see why they are going is that they do not understand. As I told you, your brain is not able to make sense of many of the things. So it will start asking questions. So what you are basically doing is that you are basically going to the material and you are just getting the, as a passive, there is a word called as passive. Your brain becomes passive recipients. Okay, your brain becomes passive recipients. But the problem, but the point which I wanted to say was, during this first reading is when you should read newspaper. This is where the, your brain will actually, your brain is getting molded. If you give in to your desires and if you go here, you will not concretize your concepts. So if there is a concept on, president, okay, if there is a concept on president, an issue here comes in, newspaper, you should fight with it. Okay, what is this chapter on president? What is this topic on president which has been given in this newspaper? Once you do that, you will actually, get better over a period of time. See, this period, if you see, is from 0. So this is where you are starting. Okay, this is where you are starting. This is approximately 5 months. Okay, this will take approximately 5 months. You have to be patient. This is where the first reading comes. But the point is that second. So once you read, once one finished, second reading, okay, second reading. Okay, second reading, when you go, it starts increasing. Okay, second, this is the second. This is the second. In this map, this will be the second. Look at this, it will increase like this. That is, you will start understanding. This is where, this is where you will start debating. Okay, with your classmates, you will start debating. Okay, you will start debating like the pros and cons of something. You will not be a passive recipient. You will start debating. The problem is that people want to start this debate in the first day itself. That is why they are going here. They want to know what is Israel-Palestine issue within this first. Today I want to know. But Israel-Palestine issue has been there for 5,000 years. Yeah, since the human being started cultivating in Neolithic period, the problem is there. Take some time to understand what is world history, what is constitution, in Israel's so for example, in Israel, you will have a different type of parliament. You will not have a representative parliament like India. In newspaper, it comes. What is that, what is that equal representation for each party they are giving? So you will have it in paper. You will go to Lakshmikant, you will search it. You will go to NCRT, search it. In NCRT, it is there. NCRT, Palestine type of parliament is there. So when you read this, You will start doing all that, you will understand. So second reading, when it goes, see, second reading, you should read the second time. Again, you should read the second time. So when you read this, you will start, understanding better, much better. Okay. So you will start understanding much better. So this is where, see, this is where I want you to look at, see, this is where now after this, okay, only after this, I want you to look at this. So now come to this point. Now come to your brain again. So your brain, your brain has received all the information. Now your brain is, see, that is why you have to sleep and all. Because if you are not able to sleep, your brain will not be able to assimilate many of the things. Why students are able to, or see, that is why I am saying, if you are able to sleep properly, exercise properly, walk properly, you will start assimilating things. Instead of going to the materials, I am not against any material, but I am saying what is neurological of reading. I'm not in any way against any material. So once you go for that, once you go for that, the first, then second reading happens, as I said. So when second reading comes, third reading, that is where it reaches your left side. Okay, when it comes to the third reading, this is where your brain, this is where your brain should start having nuances. That is, it is like this. Okay, I'll explain you this. See, it is like, your brain, what happens is that, so you will start having, see, this is your first reading. Okay, this is your first reading. Okay, if you see, this is your first reading. This is the first one. Okay, the next reading, the next reading is like coloring. Okay, next reading is like coloring. So you will color like this. Okay, you will color like this. The third reading, see, this is the third reading. So the third reading, what happens in the third reading is that nuances have to be fixed into your brain. The nuances, by meaning of which, what I am trying to say is that the nuances of, see, the nuances of previous year question paper. Okay, that is, see, you look at the whole issue. See, through, you are looking at this whole, you are looking at this whole issue. You have finished first and second. You are looking with your eye polity. See, this is Lakshmikant and polity. So you have a picture. Okay, you have a picture in front of you. How are you going to look at that picture from now on? You have to look at that picture wearing a glass. Okay, see, look at this. You have to look at that picture wearing a glass from the third reading. And the glass that you are going to wear is called as previous year question paper. This is what, or this is how you have to read a book. A book cannot be read just like that. The point here is that this is where your second, the left side of the brain assimilates facts. What we are doing is that in the first reading itself, we are going into the material and we are assimilating facts. It is not possible. See, look at this. Your second side of the brain needs time, okay, because it has to finish the first iteration, the second iteration, the third iteration, it needs facts. The point is that the facts, what facts? See, Rohit Sharma illa nenikiren, or some Virat Kohli scoring 100 in 60 balls is a fact. This is also a fact. In the newspaper, you will find it. A bridge, see, a bridge will be constructed 100 meters. It's a fact. Agni missile length some kilometers, some meters. It's a fact. All of the facts your brain will store. But is it necessary? So who is going to decide what is necessary? So you have completed this. You have completed second reading. You have a comprehensive picture. Now you have to fill in your brain with facts. This is where the point comes where material dumps you with so many facts. So this gets overloaded. So you go inside the hall. Your whole brain is overloaded. You will not be able to make judgment. This is where I am saying, you have to feed your brain. This is where I am saying you have to see the neuroscience. You feed whatever see, you can feed anything in your brain. You want to feed the number of balls that Virat Kohli or Rohit Sharma or Dhoni faces, it's your prerogative. But what is necessary for this exam? This. And where does it come? During the third reading. Okay? So once you finish this, see, once you feeding this, so once you start feeding this, this is the point. What is necessary? You have fed. Okay? You have fed everything. The previous year question. So what happens after this? After this is the fourth reading. So that is the point. See, after this, okay, so after this comes the fourth reading. After this comes fourth reading. By this, you will be closer to prelims. Yeah, this may be March, somewhere in March. See, for all this to happen, February, March. Okay, so you will come here. Then now you have to start reading the Lakshmikant so many times. Keep asking, I read Lakshmikant once, twice. Is it enough? See, can we go and tell UPSC chairman that I have read Lakshmikant once, give me the preliminary post? No. You have to read as many times as possible. 1, 2, 3, 4. How many times is possible? You have to read it. How many ever possible? For you to understand Lakshmikant, you have to start reading it. This is where the problem where we waste it in class. Current affairs class. Current affairs marathon. This is when you have to, strike like anything. You strike with such vengeance, you have to go from here. With so many repetitive times, because your brain is now ready. Your brain is completely ready now. It'll have all the picture necessary. Now is the time for you to remove the unnecessary things. The fourth thing, when you do, what will happen is that, see, this is what will happen. You will know what is necessary, what is unnecessary. See, the job of intelligence, okay, the job of intelligence is not to know what is necessary. The job of your brain's intelligence is to know what is unnecessary. So, when I am reading Lakshmikant or any book before preliminary examination, my brain will scan only the necessary things. So, only the necessary things my brain will scan. It will remove all the unnecessary things, and this is how you go and reach preliminary examination hall. So when you go inside the hall, this is where the cutoff will be. This is where the A and B get sorted out. This is where all of the things will come together in your brain. This is where your brain again will come together, or all the things necessary will come to your brain. So equivalent. So both will start going equivalently, and it will clear this examination. So this is what, or this is how. So this is the video of how to see. Look at this. So this is what I wanted to make. I hope it is clear now. So how to read a book. Okay, this is the methodology of reading a book. Thank you. All the best.